Greetings, fellow humans. Welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we've got a special episode for you today because it's a seminal moment in comics history. Detective Comics issue 1000 was released this last Wednesday, and we decided to devote an entire special episode to just covering the stories in this.
1000, very big number.
That is the biggest number, second only to Action.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a 96-page giant, and it is a giant. It's square bound. It's got the name on the spine. It costs $9.99. We got stories from various creative teams here, and we're just going to go through them one by one here.
Yeah,
so
one at a time.
The lead is Batman's Longest Case by Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, the Batman team, Dark Knight's Metal team from a while ago.
Yep.
And this story was just okay, I thought.
Yeah.
It was kind of a cool idea, just showing Batman following a bunch of weird clues, I guess, over his career.
Right,
Yeah.
since his very first case as Batman.
And that's illustrated by, like, this 9-panel grid across 2 pages, where in the first panel he's got the purple gloves of his initial appearance, but his costume is evolving as the panels go. And he's just following all these weird clues, and they're all very sort of 60s Batman TV series clues of, like, the last letter of this guy's name, hit it on the typewriter to open a secret passage.
Yep.
And it turns out that the mystery was just a mystery for its own sake, because I guess there's this club of the great detectives of the DC Universe, and that's sort of their initiation.
Yeah.
And, like, Hawkman is already there, and Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl.
Detective Chimp.
Detective Chimp, of course, the Question.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they just kind of explain that they solve mysteries there, and they handle all the unsolved mysteries. They've got them all there.
All right. They say it took you long enough.
It took you long enough, and I was really a little weirded out by the implication that it took Batman longer than any of these other people to discover the secret society.
It's a little odd.
Especially guys like Hawkman, it's almost like, okay, he's had previous lives, so maybe he's like grandfathered in.
Right.
But, the Question
set clues for himself.
has the Question really been around that much longer than Batman? Either way, it's fine. It's just fine. That's the thing about this story. It's exactly fine. No stakes.
Yeah, no.
It almost seems like it's the lead up to another story the way it ends, where it's like, here, check out this story. No matter where you look, you're always at the beginning. But I think it's really trying to be one of those, like, meaningful, like, you're always at the beginning, Batman, because that's how comics publishing works these days.
Yeah, I suppose so. I thought it was a fine story.
Good art.
Like you said, no stakes, good art. A little odd, but if everybody had a different path to this place, it's possible that Batman's path was just a bit longer, There were more clues before he got to the end.
Right. And I do like that Snyder made sure to make his contribution something very detective-y, because there's the two Batmans. There's Detective Batman and Superhero Batman.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of the stories in here might edge a little bit more into Superhero Batman, but for the most part, in my opinion, the better ones are the ones that really stick to, these are the detective comics.
I agree with that, definitely. I love all the detective stuff. The finding out the clues based on the little bit of thing, the coordinates in the icicle and whatever else. I like all of that. I think Batman needs to be doing that.
Yeah, I agree. It's good stuff. The next story, let me find the creative team here. I'm pretty sure this is is this the Bendis one? No, that's right. This is the Kevin Smith one. So the second story is, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. What would you rate the first Scott Snyder story?
Yeah, I'd probably rate the first one, Scott Snyder's story, a 6. A 5, but the art's pretty dang good, so I'm giving it a 6.
My thoughts exactly. It is it would be a 5, but the art it's good Batman art.
Yeah.
The next story is drawn by Jim Lee and written by Kevin Smith, the Kevin Smith.
Oh, the Kevin Smith.
The Kevin Smith, yes. Who's written a few Batman and Daredevil comics in the past, so he does know what he's doing. And this story was a little bit of a weird one, because it's a story that involves the gun.
Right, this is the one with the gun.
Yes.
The gun that killed Batman's parents.
Yes, and we see Batman in his Matches Malone disguise, purchasing the gun from a fence who sells, like, Gotham criminal memorabilia.
Yeah, masks and every other little thing. I love the Joker hammer that the nose is the handle.
Right. And it's intercut with action sequences of Batman fighting the various villains of his, and As he's fighting them, you kind of notice that all of the attacks of all the villains, Penguin, Mr. Freeze, Firefly, Clayface, Kevin Smith's own character,
I know what you're going to say. I did not notice it when I was reading it, but I see it now.
Yeah, that all of the guys are shooting the bat symbol.
Yep, it's hitting them right in the chest every time.
Which goes back to Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, where he had Bruce Wayne explain in that story that the reason he put a yellow oval on the middle of his chest is because that's where he has the heaviest armor. And he wants the people to shoot there instead of his exposed face.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And so, yeah, this story is like basically the origin of that Frank Miller tidbit, because it shows Batman melting down the gun and turning it into the piece of armor that goes under his symbol.
Yeah, which is pretty cool, except for the little bit where he's like, this gun will never hurt anybody again, because that's quite obviously one of those lines that anti-gun people say. They think the gun is doing the damage when, guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say this to Batman's face because he'd deck me, but Joe Chill definitely would have knifed them if he didn't have the gun.
Yeah, exactly. Or use the nail gun if he didn't have a regular gun.
Right, exactly. They were gonna get robbed. That was a desperate man.
Oh, yeah.
So it's fine. It's an interesting, clever little idea. It's a good short story.
Yeah, once again, good art.
Jim Lee, I mean, I gotta be honest, this is the best he's looked in a little while. I feel like he was being a little looser with this, not trying to put as many lines, not so much cross-hatching. I thought it was real solid, and I love the final shot of the classic bat suit. Short ears, yellow oval, gray and blue. That's Batman to me.
Yeah, and that muscle definition. You really got that muscle definition on point in this segment.
Yeah, you can trust Jim Lee to have that muscular anatomy. Yeah, there's a reason why DC House style is now everybody trying to look like Jim Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the next story... Oh, sorry.
Oh, this one's pretty good. Oh, yeah. What do you want to rate that one? You go first this time. I went first last time.
I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 7. I liked it a little more.
I also liked it a little more. One. So I would also give it a 7. I feel like it even with what I've said about the gun thing, I still think it was a clever little story.
Yeah, I mean, while we may not like it, it is kind of the thing that Batman in the DC universe might think or say. So, like, you get it. It kind of it fits the character.
It does fit the character.
Okay, so the next story is by Paul Dini and Dustin Nguyen. Paul Dini, of course, the Batman the Animated Series guy, along with Bruce Timm.
Okay, yeah.
This was a good one.
This was a good one. This one was hilarious. The Henchman.
The Legend of Newt Brody. The story of the worst henchman in Gotham history.
Yeah.
And because Paul Dini likes to write stories where the villains are talking about things that they did in the past, we get to all these talking heads of various villains talking about the time that they hired Newt Brody, this big oafish dumbass, to assist them in the way he screwed up and essentially handed them to Batman at some point.
Oh, yeah.
We got Mad Hatter, we got Harley Quinn,
Riddler.
We got Riddler, we got all these guys in their interactions with Newt Brody.
And how they always want to kill him afterwards because he screwed up, and they can't because they're always taken down by Batman. It's too late to kill Newt Brody.
Right, except for Poison Ivy, who thought that she had succeeded.
Right.
In killing him. But the reveal at the end, of course, is that Newt Brody is a shared identity that the various Bat family trade amongst each other.
Yeah, they just put him on.
Including, was Alfred part of it too? No,
Alfred was part of it.
It seems like he is, right?
Yeah, he's been Newt Brody.
Yeah, which... I didn't see that coming. I was like, what are they doing with this story?
Right, who is this guy?
I almost thought it was Bruce. Like, for a second I was like, oh, is it Bruce's new... No, but Batman's in all of these. Are they going to pull one of those Dick is Batman while Bruce... No, but it's kind of like that. It's a reversal. Damien, they're like, we got to retire this. It's too obvious. All the villains know about him. The Gotham Insider ran a story about Newt Brody, so like jig is up. But Damien's like, nah, just call me Newt Brody Jr. And he's got like a little kid version of the costume.
Yeah.
And normally I don't like it when Damien's so cutesy, but
yeah, they drew him real weird.
Like Damien looks like a fat little Franklin Richards for some reason.
I know.
But I guess that's the whole. He's in the costume. Like, that's got to be a wig, right? But,
gotta be.
But no, it was good. It was a nice little gag.
It was funny.
I like this one a lot.
Me too. Well, I'd give it an 8.
I think it's an 8. And we're slowly climbing in quality as we go down the stories.
That's true.
Okay. Next up is, I didn't know he was doing a story in this, Warren Ellis, who I always like, with art by Becky Cloonan.
Right, Warren Ellis.
The Batman's Design, which is weird. It kind of felt a lot like Batman from Batman v Superman. to me.
Oh, interesting.
Like the whole warehouse fight thing, and the way I did like the way he had all of his suit gadgets tied into verbal codes. That's not something you ever really see.
Right, and it seemed like he had the warehouse itself rigged up because he led the criminals in there in this chase.
Yeah, ultimate planning, Batman. So it's really just a fight where Batman's taking out these criminals, and then the last guy he talks down by doing the hardcore Batman fight. And I love it how he... Essentially, I almost read it as like a parody of the whole Batman Begins, like, swear to me! When Batman goes, look at me!
Right. I'm trapped in this hell.
Right, which was pretty dark.
Yeah.
So it's very Warren Ellis-y story, because Warren Ellis does like to write people being dicks and bastards. Good art. I really like the Becky Cloonan art style. Angular, lots of wax, sort of cartoony, but not too much.
Right.
Good action. Everything's real solid.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I think this one is a 6.
Yeah, I'd also give it a 6.
It's a little slight.
Right. There's not too much to it. It's just a little Batman taking down some thugs and winning somebody away from the dark side.
Right. By being so tortured.
Yeah.
So it was good, but I feel like Warren Ellis, like, at first I got to this and I was like, ooh, Warren Ellis on Batman, I'm down. And then after this I was like, I wouldn't be that sad if he never wrote more Batman. This version of Batman, Yeah. Like, I like how effective he is, but anybody can kind of do that.
It's true.
Okay. Next up, Return to Crime Alley by Denny O'Neil and Steve Epting. Now I want to mention that Denny O'Neil is a legendary Batman writer, and I love a lot of his earlier work. But this story is hot garbage. Okay, so Leslie Tompkins, classic Batman supporting character, has shown up at Crime Alley on the night that she knew Batman was going to be there, because I guess it's the
anniversary of the Wayne murders.
And she wants to talk to him because she feels like he's been not processing his grief correctly.
Right.
By being Batman.
Right.
And then some heavily armed thugs in skull masks and clown masks approach them. And Batman stops them, Batman style.
Right, because they think that ain't no real Batman. There ain't no real Batman. Let's mug him.
Right. And they pull a gun on him, and that makes Batman mad on the night of his parents' death to pull a gun on him in the street. So he beats the crap out of them.
Yeah,
and
no problem.
And then Leslie, yells, Bruce, no.
Right.
While these 4 guys are around, and at least one of them is definitely still awake.
Bruce.
She calls him Bruce. And she, like, cradles one of the guys who was trying to rob her. And she's like, poor thing.
He suffered enough.
He suffered enough. And Batman's like, you feel sorry for him. And she says, no, for you.
That's where it ends.
What the fuck?
No,
Denny!
I think hot garbage is appropriate.
Denny, what are you doing?
Yeah, what is that? Nobody wants that.
Denny, no!
What are you trying to do? You trying to take down all of Batman?
The one good thing about this story is that it is very well colored.
Yeah, that's true.
Colors are very good. Art is okay. It's Steve Epting. I never loved Steve Epting on superhero stuff. I like him on like a Captain America, I guess, especially if it's like a Winter Soldier, Captain America, lots of espionage. But
I think he does pretty good in this.
It's pretty good, but
it is very angular.
Right, and it's fine. It's Steve Epting. You know what you're going to get with him. But man, this is a 1.
I have to agree with that. I didn't like that story at all, and I feel like it's damaging to Batman as a whole.
It's damaging to Batman. Why would you put this in an anniversary issue? Like, why does Denny O'Neil have a bone to pick with Batman?
Right. Exactly. What do you got against Batman, man?
Like, in this thing, which is this whole thing is a celebration of the history of Batman. And he has one of Batman's oldest, closest friends say she feels sorry for him for being Batman. And not in the way you usually see in a Batman story where it's like, oh, this dark, noble tragedy. It's just straight up like, you're an asshole, Batman.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It just doesn't work.
I hate it.
Yeah.
All right. Getting us back on track, though, is the next story by Christopher Priest, drawn by Neil Adams, the Madman. I love how he draws Batman with his pupils when he's in his mask, which...
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's one of those weird things.
It's disconcerting.
Yeah, it's real strange. But man, he's just... Adams, the amount of motion and action he gets into his art. I just love it. And the way he really gives Batman facial expressions. Like, everything is so animated, and people are yelling at each other, and it's very energetic. Now, there's not much to this story, because it's just this weird... Honestly, it took me a second to even figure out what this story was about.
Right, this was the Ra's al Ghul... Oh, right, there's the League of Assassins took down one of their own who had defected and was helping others leave the League of Assassins, and Batman wasn't so cool with that.
Right, they finally tracked this guy down and killed him, so Batman is going back through the League hierarchy to figure out exactly why this guy was killed. And he goes back up to the mountain where the League trains, and he confronts them about it. And they get mad at him, and they're like, you're the reason why he ran away, is because you left your wallet here, and it left the infection of money with us, or something. I think that's what he was saying.
Right, or you left and became Batman, and now others think they can leave too.
Right. And so then it just ends with Batman saying, well, just let everyone know that if anyone else chooses to leave the League, I'll take the place of the man who you killed. And they're like, that's fine, well, we'll try to stop you. And then it ends with the beginning.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's definitely not going to be a continuation to this story. So this one was just okay. I really liked the art, but the story was kind of meh.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd give it a 5.
I think 5's right. I do like it anytime they have Dick Grayson being Batman so that Bruce can be Bruce out of place. That's a trope I do quite enjoy.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
I was Batman.
It's fine.
Dick Grayson. I was Batman.
All right.
To that.
So next up we got the Bendis story.
Right.
Of course, Bendis has to do like a thing. But actually, I thought this one was okay.
Me too.
It's from the Penguin's point of view, and the Penguin is visiting aged Bruce Wayne. It's not clear like where or what anything is.
It looks like they're just on a mountain to me.
Right, and Bruce is like nonverbal. And Penguin's talking to him in a way where he feels like Bruce is going to die or something like that. And lets him know that he had figured out a long time ago that Bruce Wayne was Batman. And they had even come up with a plan to kill Bruce Wayne. But then he realized, like, oh, if we go after Bruce Wayne and don't manage to also get Batman and just kill Bruce Wayne, then Batman will become a monster. He'll kill us all.
Yeah, but then I like the reveal at the end when Bruce actually starts talking.
Right. I knew you knew Oswald. I knew what a coward you were.
Yeah.
And then Bruce electrocutes him.
Yeah, that's great.
And then some guys take him away, which is, again, like, where are they? But
Bruce in his wheelchair.
Alex Maleev also draws the most different version of Batman. I mean, it's technically, I guess, his regular suit, but the way it's kind of all black with just a light bat symbol in the middle. It's almost an interesting halfway point between a movie suit and the comic suits.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, in this other one panel, he almost looks like Batman Beyond, just with no red.
That's true. Well, he's definitely trying to do a whole monochromatic thing.
Yes, that's Maleev style for sure. Which normally I don't love his art, but in this case I thought it worked pretty well for the story that was being told.
Well, you got a different palette on every page, which was pretty nice.
Yeah, and he's real good at using the color changes to indicate, past versus present.
Right,
things like
exactly.
That.
You're never confused about that in this case.
I am disappointed that we didn't get to see the front of the Joker, because I like the way he drew the back of the Joker. I'd like to see Alex Maleev's Joker.
Yeah. Anybody, how they draw Joker, it's always different. It's always crazy.
Right. So yeah, this one was fine. It was good. I'd give it a 6.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6. 6 sounds right.
Man, we are right in line. Look at us. It's almost like we're brothers. All right, next up.
The best art.
Geoff Johns, Kelly Jones. The Last Crime in Gotham. Everything about this was great. It's playing on the old, like, classic Silver Age DC thing where you'd have, like, an aged alternate universe Batman who's married to Catwoman and they've got their kids and they're all, like, a crime-fighting family.
Yeah, I like the crime-fighting family.
Ace the Bat-Hound is there, in costume.
Yeah. The old Ace. They're all in costume.
They're all in costume. It's great.
Everybody's calling Dick Richard.
Right. And there's this crime scene where 12 people are dead. And it seems like they're all criminals at a birthday party.
Yeah.
And the cake was poison. And they think it was the Joker. But Joker died the other night. And it turned out it was the son of the Joker. Which this confused me a little bit. Because I thought that they were saying son of the Joker. But revealing Joker was among the dead bodies. But no, the son of the Joker. And it was just him going out in a way that he thought his dad would like.
The April Fool.
The April Fool. So it's interesting because, not much happens in this. It's just kind of like a weird little, here's the thing with a weird twist.
Right, and they're all just, they're all talking about Batman, how great it is to be Batman family.
Yeah, it's a good time, fam. Like, we're all just doing Batman family stuff.
Yeah, and then the little bit about, like, Batman's finally found his answer to all the questions he had. Why were my parents killed? And now it's okay because he's got his own family.
Right. Yeah. And it's a little weird. He's obviously contemplative at the very end.
Yeah.
Because it's his birthday.
Right.
And all the enemies are dead now. But he's got his family. And let me tell you,
he gives a little smile at the end.
He gives a little smile at the end. And, man, not a ton happens, but shit, Kelly Jones draws the hell out of it.
Kelly Jones might be my favorite Batman artist.
And this Michelle Madsen on colors. I don't know if it's the same colorist that was on Kings of Fear.
I think so. It's so similar, the palette.
So many cool colors.
Yeah. And just so colorful all at once.
So colorful. And it's great how she's able to like imply darkness while still putting a bunch of color in it, like with these purple shades and stuff.
The purples and the blues.
And just good stuff.
Yeah. No, it's a fun one. I'd actually give this one probably a 9. Yeah, I'm thinking a 9. I loved it.
All right, I'm not going to go quite that high. That's an 8 for me.
All right.
But yeah, if it had had some action, I think that would have pushed it up for me. That's my
That's fair. Normally, if there's no action, I'm bored. But in this case, not so much because so much color, so touching, such great art.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting characters. Ace is there, and he's part of solving the case.
That's true. He finds out the cake is poisoned.
Yep.
Won't touch it.
Okay, moving on to The Precedent by James Tynion IV, drawn by Alvaro Martinez Bueno, who's not an artist I'm familiar with,
right.
Which is the one Dick Grayson story, pretty much.
That's true.
In this short. It's only 4 pages, but it's good. It's just Alfred giving Bruce a pep talk about, yes, it's okay to bring Dick Grayson in, and like Batman's worried about starting a precedent. It's like, oh, well, if we take this kid in, what about the other kids that we'll probably end up having to take in? And Alfred's like, well, really, you're the one who started the precedent, sir. Dick is number 2.
Yeah, that's what Dick says. He's like, you already did it.
Oh, right, exactly. Right, exactly. I won't say the cat's out of the bag since you for split on the kid. And exactly, if Dick's good enough to hang on a chandelier and eavesdrop on Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so he says, yeah, let's show him how to do it right. And Bruce puts on a big cheesy smile. He's like, okay. And then we get that right. 2-pager, or that 1-page, full-page thing of Batman and Robin teaming up, and underneath the candlelight oath of Batman swearing Dick Grayson in to the war against crime, which is a great moment. Yeah,
and it says all it needs to without any words on that last page. Let's go, son.
Let's go, son. Yep. And they thankfully didn't have the artist draw Dick Grayson in that awful Robin suit that they always have him in flashbacks in the current DC Rebirth stuff. It's 100% classic. Short shorts, pixie boots, collared cape.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
It's perfect. I like this one a lot. Very good stuff. James Tynion, man, he's always solid.
That's true.
Always
solid. I like James Tynion IV.
And this artist, I'm not familiar with him, but I mean, he wouldn't turn me away from a book. I'd read a book this guy drew.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. I'd give this one a 7.
I'd also give it a 7.
Alrighty. Next up, Tom King. Batman's greatest case. Now, it's interesting how the first story in this is Batman's longest case.
Yep.
So, Tony Daniel and Joel Jones on art for this one. Man, Bruce is sad because it's a Tom King comic. And and he's he's called the Bat Family up to a rooftop. Everyone's there. Jason thinks that he's there to get kicked out of the family because he's the gun-using one. And the Signal is there, Duke.
Yes, he is.
Batgirl in her weird new costume. Alfred is up on the rooftop with all of them, that's got to be dangerous for another one with Ace, where Ace is looking straight goofy.
Yeah, he is.
I like that. And the whole story is just about Batman's sad. He got no family, but now he has this family, so we're all going to take a group picture.
Right.
And you're my family now.
You know what? I was confusing this one with that other one. I was forgetting that they were 2 separate stories.
The Kelly Jones one.
Kelly Jones, yeah.
Honestly, the Kelly Jones one is almost the same thing, but better.
That's true.
Because it's also very much like, look at this family he's built, but it's like an actual family of a family unit in that one. And this one is just like, here's all the people Batman knows.
That's true.
I know people are happy to see Cassandra Cain back. She's a fan favorite character who was deleted from continuity not too long ago. So it's interesting that she shows up.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, sure, exactly. But kind of boring.
A little bit, yeah.
The art's fine. I don't love Tony Daniels' art all the time. The Joelle Jones pages are fine, but it's just the Bruce being sad in the rain pages.
Yeah, and this is also the one where Dick keeps going, I was Batman. I'm so cool because I was Batman.
Right. Which was cool, but stop mentioning it.
Right, don't say it. That cheapens it.
Yeah, this one was bleh for me. I'd give it an exact 5.
Well... Yeah. 5.
No, I gotta bring it down to a 4.
4?
I gotta.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to trick you into saying 5 first.
No. But I'll stand by 5.
Alright. So, yeah, then there's a little cover gallery, or an image gallery with some cool extra art. Oh, yeah, and then, I almost forgot because they put some art pages in between. The last story, the actual Detective Comics story from our current Detective Comics team.
Right.
Which is interesting because Action Comics did the same thing where the last story was like a little chunk of the beginning of Bendis's run.
That's true.
Yeah, and so this one was another one that is also like something they did in Action where each page is a full page splash of Batman fighting one of his main enemies, except for in Action it was a different artist doing each page, and in this one it's all freaking Doug Mahnke.
Right.
Doing that good Doug Mahnke art.
Yeah, Mahnke is good.
And he's fighting Mr. Freeze, and he's fighting Man-Bat, and he's fighting Killer Croc, and he's fighting Joker. I love Mahnke's Joker.
Yeah.
He's fighting Talia and Roz at the same time with his shirt off. And all the way up through the modern era, he's fighting Bane, he's fighting the Court of Owls. I don't even know who this dude with all the eyes is.
Yeah, some kind of bug.
Two-Face and Penguin have to share a page, unfortunately.
And is that...
Oh, and Clayface. Oh, and Hush.
Hush.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. They were like, oh, shoot, we 4 more left. We only got 2 pages. And the last pages are reveal, so...
Right.
Because, we're reading all this narration, and it seems like it's somebody talking to Batman.
Yeah.
Or at least talking about what he represents, but in a very negative fashion, even as we're seeing all these images of Batman's amazing triumphs. With the last page reveal being that this is the introduction of the video game character Arkham Knight into DC Comics continuity. Arkham Knight is there. He got a sword. He's probably not Jason in this like he is in the game.
Yeah, probably not.
Almost. In fact, I'm pretty sure they announced when they said they were going to bring him into comics that it's not Jason. Don't worry.
Good.
Which is funny because on the previous page they do have Hush, who when he showed up, he also pretended to be Jason.
That's funny.
But so this is definitely not so much a story, so much as an excuse for Doug Mahnke to draw 8 splash pages and then do a lead-in for the next arc of Detective.
Right.
But I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was great art, good time reading it. I'm super
Look,
down.
Full pages are nice.
All of those pages are great. But any one of these could have been one of the covers for this.
That's true.
Honestly. So many classic things happening.
Yeah.
Batman's got that knife sticking right out of his chest when he's holding Joker by the lapel.
Staring him down.
Oh, man, he's mad. Man, I didn't even notice all the rebar going through Killer Croc's arm on this page. So many details, so many things.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Oh, yeah, Catwoman and Poison Ivy are sharing a page, too. So I guess that wasn't the only shared page. Anyway.
And Roz and Talia.
Yes, well. That makes sense. I mean, I'm honestly surprised that they didn't throw Harley Quinn on the page with Poison Ivy.
Yeah, or at least not with Joker.
With Joker. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it well enough. Fine story, great art. I'd give. Actually, it's your turn.
Oh, I'd give the last few pages a 6.
I'd give it a 7.
All right.
I got to give it for that art. And that is Action 1000.
Oh.
So we're going to take a quick break. And we're back after that short break. So averaging out our scores, that was an average of 5.9 for me and of 6 for you.
Nice.
And your final score was a 66 out of a
66
possible 110.
Out of a possible 110, exactly.
And it was a 65 for me. So honestly, man, that Denio and Heel story really dragged the average down.
Yeah, it's too bad. It would have been better if that was just not in here.
Yeah, excise that one, man. Get Grant Morrison to write 4 pages to fill in instead. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. he had one. Come on.
Right, and after he did all those great Batman runs 10 years ago, Black Hand and whatnot, all up to Batman Incorporated and all of that, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it, Denny O'Neil, legendary Batman writer, but damn, Denny.
Right, but you look at that story, somebody should have read it and been like, sorry, man, we're going to go with something else.
All right, man, so look at that. We got 30 minutes out of this one issue of comics.
This one issue. This one ginormous, monumental issue, Detective Comics number 1000. Amazing.
Thanks for listening.
Agreed. Thank you.